There we go. Bell and Trusted pea seed. Picking it up straight from the cleaners. And then we're going to take it to get treated. Precision switched over to these fancy Storm FX2s this year that are supposed to be pretty impressive as far as treating, so we'll see if Josh can get this figured out. Attaboy. Never used one of these. I guess looks like you treat 2 at a time, which is good because we're going to put 3/4 rate of inoculant on. We're also putting granular inoculant down with the seed. And we are putting what would you call it? I guess a fungicide, insecticide combo on as well. So that'd be our 2 products. I guess Josh is getting them over there. Never seen one of these in action, but they are supposed to be slick. Hydraulic auger. I believe they're plastic or poly-flight. And then they have this little conveyor as well. And I'm pretty sure this guy's electric and hooked up to a VFD. I don't know. See if it works. So they must have taken a sample. I don't know if they got anything in here of mine yet. I think that's got something to do with the calibration. This one does not have the onboard generator. Had to plug her in. Of course, I'm right on the bar. Looks pretty well coated. It comes out really wet, but it dries super nice. Like by the time you're in the back off, this will be nice and dry. Yesterday we got a delivery of all of our seed and inoculant. So we got our canola L340 going in this year. And our inoculant is Active Fuel. There's another one, I think it's called Thrive. The Thrive is more money, but we don't need it. You put the Thrive on if you're following canola, because it gives you another bacteria that canola kills, I guess. Okay, today, April 29th, and I think we're going to turn some dirt. I just finished doing some prescription uploads and the SCTX unlock on that. This guy should be good to go. We have seed. Dad went to get fertilizer with the grain truck. We have inoculant. There's actually inoculant on the seed, but we have granular inoculant over in the shed. Normally, I'd be really excited and upbeat. I am excited, not so upbeat right now because of the election results last night, but things don't always go your way. Such is life. A couple minor things we have to do to this. One, we got to flip that guy into fertilizer. It's currently on seed right now. We run everything with peas. We run everything down the fertilizer boot just to get them a little bit deeper. So with the Seed Hawk, typically what we do is for peas, we run everything down the fertilizer boot. The seed is set at about 3/4 of an inch. We're able to knife a little deeper with the fertilizer. The way it's set up, about 3/4 of an inch there. And I want to say it works out to be about 1.25 inches and a little off to the side. So we're actually not putting anything down the seed. We're going to put everything down the fertilizer for peas. Then we don't have to adjust our seed depth, which is these things, which is not a difficult job, but it's a lot of climbing around, and there's 70 of them. And then you got to change your depth again. We got really good moisture right now after that big wet snowstorm we had last week. And I got to take this guy out to confirm the GPS. Usually we have 2 issues with the Trimble in this thing. Number 1 doesn't apply for seeding, which is when we're going high speeds. Typically it's that 7 mile an hour plus. It really struggles to find the line, and it does this, and it's like it doesn't steer fast enough. I've played with settings, and a lot of times you get it and then it's good for a bit and then whatever. So there is a workaround on it, and that's essentially to slow down. And the only time we really do that is with the high-speed disc or the harrows. And you just make sure you're on the line good and true. It'll hold line if it's on and straight. If it's trying to acquire line, it will get really snaky. The other issue we have with this is, for some reason, we had to implement an offset to get everything to go right. So we have to tweak our offset, our implement width, and our overlap to make sure that we are going back and forth and we're not converging on one side and diverging on the other side. Yeah. Like if it rides the
tire is just kind of riding on the
furrow, the old one.
Or just it's pretty close. I just from the cab you can tell anyway.
Yeah. It's got to be close. Yeah, we were just talking, we're like, I think it was supposed to be like 69 feet 8 inches, so we did that. Not really thinking far enough ahead that we wanted to turn and go back the other way. I don't think we left ourselves enough room. We're not actually seeding anything, we're just running the fan so the shanks don't plug. And yeah, we were playing with the settings. The offset is 13 inches. I think it was 13 inches right. And we never could figure out how to get that set. Not gonna be far off. Boy, that looks close. Looks pretty close. Might be a touch. Yeah. Oh God, that's close. Like that's within an inch. we're looking at it, we are probably 13 inches there. Now you got to keep in mind that the openers are offset one way to the other when you go back and forth like this. I do think this way is a touch tighter. We're pretty sure there's one here, but we're not dead certain. So he's gonna run up ahead. I'm gonna paint a furrow. Gotta switch hands here. Little tight, I think. Nine-ish. Little tight. Little tight. Yeah. But there to there versus there to there.
Well, that's what I don't mind that. I'd rather that than being overlapping or
Opening.
stretching, and then you see it all year. That
shade tight. So we kind of said we're about as close as we want to get. Once you start chasing that 1 inch, oh, it gets miserable. So we took the trucks to Precision to get a weight just to confirm our scales, and they're off. Now, that could definitely be off because I forgot to weigh it after we treated. So three things go on here. I didn't weigh it after we treated. I weighed myself in it, and I fueled up this morning. So even all that, we're off by 6%. That's probably acceptable. Tank number 3, though, according to our math and our scales, we put 2,400 pounds in. According to the scale, and so Dad got that filled this morning, and I told him to weigh it, and he did. And he's got it wrote down. And then we came out here, filled it, and then we went back. According to Precision Ag, well, according to the scales, we put 2,400-ish pounds in. Right now it's saying 2382.85. According to Precision Ag, it's like 710 kilograms, which is like 1,600 pounds. So we're going to do some troubleshooting here. Dad's actually ran to use the bathroom scale just so we can scale out others. I suspect we might have a bad load cell on that tank, being that it's showing that we are essentially 30% light. We're gonna go, oh, not there, we're gonna scroll. Bin 1 has the most sensitive one, so I'm gonna stand on it. Probably be about 240. I weigh more than 215, I know that for sure. And I'm wearing boots. Anyways, let's just say it's 200 pounds. Because that's the most accurate. It's got smaller scale, or smaller load cells. So we're gonna scroll to bin 2. Actually, I'm not gonna be on 2 when I scroll. We thought we put 5150 in. Yeah. All right, here we go. That's pretty close. Went up by about 200 pounds. And I did this before. I thought it was pretty good. This guy's saying 2385, we'll call it. That's definitely showing a touch on the high side. And now that I'm thinking about it, it wouldn't make sense that we have a bad load cell, because it would show less weight than we put in. So I'm thinking about this backwards. 2615 minus 215 if I step off should be right around 2400. And just because we're all the way here, let's bin 4, 7 pounds. That's probably the most accurate one for my weight. I'm flirting with about 230 right now, plus my boots. I don't know if there's a way to recalibrate these or not. So we made it down. I'm hoping I can film, but it is pretty friggin' windy out. Dad's going to get her unfolded. We have to throw some inoculant in. I think we'll probably only throw 2 bags in to start. Then we got to calibrate tanks 1, 2, and 3. We're not using 4. We kind of just said, for all we need, we're not going to gain a whole lot running tank 4. So we're just going to leave it open for now. Because we're going to be filling a lot. Like, we don't like to just put 15 bags in at once. We'll probably throw 6 in at once, and then we got enough for 100 acres or so. Now, we did figure out something with the weight on tank 3. So we checked against Dad's weight, checked against my weight. It's reading pretty close. Not as close as tank 4 seemed to be the most accurate. But we were looking at the numbers, and the number Dad wrote down, and he said he didn't actually get inside and see. He was told the weight. So he got 12 ton of fertilizer, and the weight was like 22,100 or something like that. And that shouldn't be, because that truck empty with a full tank of fuel is around 10.8. It's around 10.4 empty. So we figure Dad either misheard the number, or somebody said the wrong number to him, or the scale was not zeroed when he drove on it. One of those 3. So we're trusting that the tank is right. We're going to do our calibrations. If our calibrations are correct and our tank is correct, we should get around 30 acres based on what's in there. Well, we got all of our calibrations done just in time for it to start raining. Luckily, we got the air guard on the fertilizer. Everything's going down the fertilizer. Shouldn't matter. Over there last year, I sowed in a pretty good rain and for a couple hours. Big thing is seeing if we can remember how to do everything. I guess it sounds like we've started. That doesn't look good. I see the problem is this one section's not cooperating. Might have to pick that rock. So the problem we had is last year we didn't do this field with SCT X with the advanced look-aheads, and I suspect it's seeing a slightly different boundary, and because of the more advanced shutoffs and everything, that it got into the threshold for this one to lift up. So our solution is to seed the headlands in manual, which we pretty much do anyways. So I think we had our first hiccup. Wasn't serious. Dad got, I don't know, a third done the headland, and all of a sudden the shanks were disabled. He had no packing pressure, couldn't lift them, couldn't do anything. I said, well, did it pop out? And he goes, no, I checked that. I climb up and, oh, well, let's pause the job and maybe we just restart everything. And right, we hit pause and I go, oh, hang on. And look down, and on the display, for some reason, the number one hydraulic had a little lock icon beside it. He goes, well, that's weird. I never even touched the screen. It just, I was going, and all of a sudden, blink. So hopefully that doesn't end up being an electrical gremlin. That, you know, this is our, what, 7th year with this drill? Or with this tractor. We've never had that happen. And all you had to do is tap that icon and everything's back up and running. So I don't know. Well, we ended up shutting down for the night. We ran out of inoculant. It was going on a little bit heavy, about half a pound heavier than we'd like it to be. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're only targeting 2.6 pounds and it's coming out at 3.1, that's a fair bit over. Like, that's almost 20%. Which, if you're going to be heavy on something, yeah, it's great to be heavy on inoculant, but we've got inoculant on the peas, so we should be fine. We'll dial that down. We didn't want to put another bag in. We wanted to run everything out, but it's starting to get, starting to get a little clumpy. The stubble's kind of grabbing and catching. It's a little tough. And, you know, just it's making some balls and whatnot. So we still have about 6 or 7 acres. I think it was 7.4 of seed and 6.3 or something of fertilizer. So we'll put another bag in the morning. We'll seed the last 7 acres. Would have been close. We're pretty much over at that big bush right there. Yeah, probably would have got down around there, I would guess. And then we're gonna fill. We're gonna measure trucks. We've confirmed so far that we must have got a bad number somehow. whether there was a little dyslexia slipping in or what, I don't know, but numbers got mixed up because this is running out pretty close to what it should be, the fertilizer and the seed. So still raining. We'll have to let the sun or the wind get on this for a bit in the morning before we get going. So we got some other stuff we can work on in the meantime.